My name is Charlie Munger. I'm 99 years old. I've spent more than 7 decades investing, building businesses, studying failure, and watching intelligent people make predictable financial mistakes. Today, my net worth is measured in billions. But almost nobody wants to talk about how this actually starts. It doesn't start with confidence. It doesn't start with opportunity. And it certainly doesn't start with comfort. It starts with failure. There was a period in my life when my net worth was negative. Not low, negative. I was divorced, I was buried in debt, and I was dealing with personal loss while having no financial margin at all, no buffer, no safety, no second chances. That experience permanently changed how I think about money, risk, and survival. So when people ask me, Charlie, if you had to start over today, in 2026, with absolutely nothing, what would you do? I don't need to guess. I don't need theory. I don't need optimism. I've already lived the worst version of that scenario. And if I had to do it again, I know exactly what I would do, and more importantly, what I would refuse to do. Let me be very clear from the beginning. This is not motivation. This is not positivity. This is not encouragement. It is not designed to make you feel inspired for 10 minutes and then return to the same habits that keep you stuck. Inspiration is cheap. Discipline is rare. What I'm about to explain is a cold, structured framework that works in good economies and bad ones, in rising markets and falling ones, whether you are 25 or 55. Because the most common mistake people make when they start with nothing is assuming that money is the problem. It isn't. Money is a symptom. The real problem is operating without structure, without margin, and without respect for fragility. Starting with zero is not a disadvantage. It only becomes a disadvantage when panic enters the system. In reality, starting with nothing gives you structural advantages that comfortable people no longer have. First, you are not defending a lifestyle. You don't have expensive habits to maintain. You don't have appearances to protect. You don't have a fragile identity built on consumption. That makes you flexible. Second, your mistakes are cheap. When you're poor, errors cost hundreds. When you're rich, errors cost millions. The irony is that rich people can afford mistakes, but fear them. Poor people fear mistakes, but can afford them. Third, time has not yet compounded against you. People underestimate how violently bad decisions compound. Bad habits, bad debt, bad lifestyle choices. They don't hurt immediately, they quietly destroy the future. Most people only realize this when reversal is no longer possible. Here is the uncomfortable truth. Most people who start 2026 broke will also finish 2026 broke. Not because they are unlucky, not because the economy failed them, not because of politicians or inflation, but because they never changed how they think. They changed tactics. They never changed behavior. They blame their employer. They blame the system. They blame timing. And then they repeat the same decisions with slightly more frustration. This framework exists for one reason only: to make sure you do not repeat that cycle. If you follow this framework seriously, not casually, your financial position will look fundamentally different by the end of the year. Not because of brilliance, not because of luck, not because of bold risk-taking, but because you stopped doing the small, stupid things that quietly destroy people over time. Wealth is not built in dramatic moments. It is built through sustained avoidance of stupidity. Now let's move into the structure. Step 1. January. Stop the bleeding. If you are starting with zero, money is leaving your life faster than it's entering. That must stop immediately. Not next month. Not when things feel more stable. Immediately, you list every recurring expense, every subscription, every automatic payment, every habit that quietly drains cash. And then you cut aggressively. Transportation, food, entertainment, convenience. anything that does not directly keep you alive or productive. This is not punishment. It is triage. People who refuse to do this do not fail financially. They bleed out slowly while insisting they deserve comfort. Step 2, February and March. Income above comfort. You cannot invest your way out of poverty. Anyone telling you otherwise has never been poor. For 60 days, investing is irrelevant. Your only job is income expansion. You sell your time at the highest rate available to you. You work more than is comfortable. You stack income temporarily. This is not a career move. This is capital accumulation. Comfort comes later, survival comes first. Step 3, April to June, build financial oxygen. Emergency funds are boring. They are also what keep people alive financially. Without cash reserves, every inconvenience becomes a crisis. Every crisis forces bad decisions. This phase is about buying time. Time removes desperation. Desperation destroys judgment. You do not invest yet. You stabilize. Stability precedes growth, always. Step 4, July and August, invest in earning power. The highest return investment early on is not the market. It is increasing your earning capacity, skills, tools, credentials, anything that increases the value of your time. This is where impatience kills progress. People rush because they want proof. Proof comes after structure. Step 5, September and October, second stream. Now you build redundancy, not fantasy income, not internet gimmicks, not shortcuts, real, boring, durable income streams. Redundancy is what separates progress from fragility. Fragile systems collapse under stress. Redundant systems survive. Step 6, November. Discipline under temptation. November is where most people destroy the year. They confuse earning money with having money. They reward themselves too early. They relax discipline before the foundation is finished. Progress must be protected, not celebrated. This is where serious people separate themselves from everyone else. Step 7, December. Positioning for year 2. By December, if you followed this structure, you are no longer fragile. You are solvent. You have margin. You have options. Year 1 is defense. Year 2 is offense. Most people never reach this point. Not because it's impossible, but because they quit early or sabotage themselves late. Final fetchimento. This framework works. It worked decades ago. It works now. It will work again. But most people will not follow it. They will listen. They will agree. They will feel validated. And then they will change nothing. Next year, they will ask the same question again. If you are starting with nothing, you do not need inspiration. You need discipline. You need patience. You need the humility to survive quietly. That is the difference.